faculty. I love collaborating with young people, and it's always a great pleasure to learn from young people. And if you are new to this channel, we create this show because we want to take a chance to shine a light on mental wellness, especially during these very unusual times where each and every one of us continue coping with this COVID-19 pandemic. And this pandemic has had widespread extreme effect on every society as a whole. Therefore, voicing out the importance of mental wellness has become our part to help others to shape a strong mentality. We also value your participation to this program, so please use the chat feature to share your comments and to ask questions to all the panelists related to the topic that we discussed for today's episode. So, all right, without further ado, I would like to invite all the speakers in. I would like to invite all the speakers in.
Hello, Habisat. Good evening. Good evening.
Okay, hi, we have Harold here.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you all. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, who else are in this episode? Only Harold? Can we spotlight all the speakers, please?
Hello, good evening.
Okay, we have Adriel. Do we have Jacobus and Thomas here?
Hello, good evening.
Okay, we have Jacobus, we have Thomas here. Okay, so to all our viewers, these will be our panelists. They are Harold, Jacobus, Adriel, and Thomas. So we need to get closer to our panelists. So please kindly introduce yourself. I think starting from Harold, could you please introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you so much, madam. Hello. I'd like to say all of you good evening again. It's nice to meet you and have the opportunity right now to speak with you, all my friends, brothers and sisters. May I introduce myself? My name is Harold Siregar, a sophomore. I'm part of the Student Association Committee in the Faculty of Philosophy. I'm from Universitas Advent Indonesia, of course. I'm part of some organization. It calls the leadership organization in UNAI. It called Pathfinder, if you know. I'm currently lives in Jakarta. I love to playing basketball. But sometimes I use my talent. I have some talent to singing, and I also enjoy eat some food. That's one of my hobby. I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Harold. Now we move to Jacobus. Could you please introduce yourself, Jacobus?
Hello, good evening, brother and sister. I'm Jacobus Miga, sophomore. I'm part of student at UNAI. I'm part of leadership at UNAI. I'm currently live in Parompo, Bandung. I love to football player. Sometimes of distress, I use my talent to playing music. I also enjoy reading book. I think that's all.
Okay, you enjoy reading books, same as me. Thank you, Jacobus. Nice to know you. Next, I proceed to Adriel. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Adriel Salahi. I'm a senior. I'm a part of the Student Association Committee in the Faculty of Philosophy in UNAI. I'm part of Pathfinder organization. I'm currently live in Bandung. I love to playing piano. And also I also enjoy playing games. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Adriel. Okay, I move to Thomas. Could you please introduce yourself, Thomas?
Okay, good evening to all of you, my brother and sister. My name is Thomas Isaac. My faculty is of philosophy students, and my hobby is play the football. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you have poor connection, Thomas. Please check your connection so that we can have this show, yeah? Okay, once again, I'm so honored to have you all in this first episode of Wisdom Within Season 2. And in this episode, we're going to carry out an interesting topic about anxiety in everyday life. You know, 1 in 14 people around the world, they have anxiety. And I could say that anxiety lives under the layer of our skin. It is in us, and we need to prevent from having this anxiety. Now, our panel is going to share with us their point of views about anxiety and how we tweak our coping skills, how to we tweak our coping skills in terms of handling anxiety. Now, as you know, that anxiety is sort of a mental health condition that can cause us feeling of worry, fear, and depression. Now, when we're anxious, there's something that holding us back, something that holding us to feel happy. Now, I would like to touch on an issue. Do you think people who are happy live longer than people who are anxious? Now, I would like to invite Jakobus Miga. Please share your thoughts and notions on these particular questions. The time is yours.
Okay, ma'am. Kelihatan.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, good evening, brother and sister. If you talk about NCT, we talk about people. And if you talk about people, it is something about age of human. Because of that, I have some question. Yeah. Do happy people live longer? Okay. The answer is, of course. Yeah. Happy people will have a longer life than unhappy people. Yeah. The key is that we enjoy our life. Okay. A study from University College London confirmed that people who enjoy life tend to live longer. The proof is done by observing 9,365 people in their 50 and 60 who live in England. And every 2 years for 6 years, 2000 to until 2006, the research asked the participant the following question. Number 1, do they enjoy life? How much happiness do they feel in their partner? and how much do they enjoy their daily activities. The result is that number one, consistently a quarter of participants admit to not enjoy life at all. 20% say that could only enjoy one of the three aspects. Another 22% enjoy only two of the three aspects. And 34% enjoy it all. According to Andrew Steptoe, researchers say that a person's mood can change level of beneficial and hormones in a person's body. That way, when the mood is good, it will reduce level of stress hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol in the body, which can trigger high blood pressure and heart disease. Conversely, those who are not happy in life to smoke or consume alcohol, so that their health is distributed. Even from a psychological point of view, the step to get low thinking is number one, prioritize happiness. Those who were happiest at age 22 were 2.5 times more likely to live 6 decades later compared to those who are less happy. And number two, coping with stress and anxiety. And number three, keep friends. Researchers also report the maintaining of healthy social network can help people live up to 50% longer. Having only 3 social groups can reduce premature death by more than 200%. So if we live in healthy environment, there will also be healthy people, because the influence of healthy environment can encourage people to live better. Okay, some habits that can help us to have a happier and longer life for us. Number one, active life. One of them is with us exercise. By exercise, we can have a healthier and strong body. And 2011 study published in the British Journal of Sport Medical also found that for every hour we sit, we have a life expectancy of nearly 20 minutes because we move around a lot. Next, always grateful. Gratitude is a form of pity and faith in someone for God by accepting what he has given secretly. It's not easy to be grateful. Moreover, sometimes we forget to be grateful. Whatever is in a difficult situation, happy or in sad state and anymore. This may be because we are always busy with our worldly affairs and tend to compare ourselves with others. However, whatever our current condition, gratitude makes our hearts calm and peaceful. There are also many gifts on favors that we are currently experiencing, Starbucks breathing, health, food or property, and anymore. The question is, where did this gift come from? From the Lord of the worlds. Sometimes there our interrogate question. When we get a trial that feels very heavy, do we still have to be grateful? The answer is yes. Why? Try to take the positive side. I believe that trial we are solitary experiences indicate that God is remember us and want to test our faith. It is not then God doesn't love us. God the opposite, He is very attentive to us. If if you are able to pass the test, that is a thing that our degree will be elevated. We shall be grateful because of the many people on this earth. God still remember you. You are His chosen human, so don't ever disappoint Him by giving up hope. And last point, don't forget to love. According to Osipinti, he is a CEO of American Fitness and Professionals and Associates. Laughter can help you lower our blood pressure and heart rate. This is certainly beneficial for our heart in the long run. Happy can spread endorphins throughout the body, which not only make us feel better, but also act better. Research from Norway published in the journal Medical so that people with a high sense of humor have a higher and healthier life expectancy. And conclusion, I'm taking from Proverbs 70 verse 22. A cheerful heart is good, medical, but a cross spirit dries up to bonus. And Proverbs 15 verse 13. A happy heart make the face cheerful, but heartless cruise that spirit. And the book of Proverbs reminds us that a joy heart makes our face beam. A happy and joyful heart makes our face glow. A joy heart makes our face radiate peace and happiness. Thank you. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, Jacobus Mika, for sharing with us habits to help us live a happier and a longer life. So you've shared the study that happy people actually live longer. But somehow it's not easy to stay happy, to be always happy. Now, as you know, anxiety is so prevalent among college students. And I can see that here, all of you are college students. I'm curious, how do you handle anxiety in your college life? So, Harold, what's your take on this? Please.
Okay, before that, I would like to give you some explanation why why there are many college students are feel anxious in their life, especially in their age. Maybe many of us think of college as an exciting time to experience new things and find oneself or yourself. But on the flip side, all these new opportunities can cause anxiety. In fact, I got this from American College Health Association in 2018. Study from the American College Health Association revealed that more than 63% of college students stated that they had felt overwhelming anxiety within the last 12 months. Well, what's more, many colleges and universities are reporting that the number of students seeking counseling is rising. So this is what happened in this time. And what's driving the number of college students suffering from anxiety and seeking help? There's well, the answer is a little bit complicated, but I will just give you some well answer. But I think there are 5 causes why all of the college students, they have struggled in their age. The first one, I mean, is underdeveloped brains. College students are particularly vulnerable to anxiety since the human brain doesn't fully develop until the mid to late 20s. And the PhD of a assistant professor of psychology at Bacon College in Leesburg, Florida, his name is A.G. Marsden. He said that student decisions aren't always the best as their frontal lobe. So their decisions come from frontal lobe, the lobe responsible for higher order processing, such as critical thinking and decision making, is not yet fully formed. That's what he said. So when faced with the new problems and pressures, college students tend to feel overwhelmed. That's why sometimes we are confused and we don't know what we have to do, and we feel anxious with that because we are not trained or we are not practiced how to manage our mind, and our brain is underdeveloped. And the second thing is new environment, new challenges. Moving and acclimating to a new environment such as college can be extremely stressful. And I felt that too. Just imagine the number of changes going on simultaneously. They're adapting to new schedules, heavy loads of coursework. Maybe for the philosophy student, they have to work maybe in grounds or a lot of job they can find. So it can help them for the financial to the college, and that's some causes for them because it's new. It's not usually for them. Life with roommates, new cultures, and alternative ways of thinking. They are meeting new friends, figuring how to fit in with their new friends, and developing an independent identity, and handling adult responsibilities, or probably making some bad decisions along the way. That's why dealing with all these challenges, many of which are college students first during a major life transition from adolescence to adulthood, can push them past their breaking points. Successfully navigating through all these changes requires cognitive maturity and life skills that many in this age group are still mastering. And Harrison Davis, he is assistant professor of counseling and coordinator from North Georgia College and State University. He said that if students do not feel adequate or prepared to cope with the new environment of college or campus, they could easily become susceptible to depression and anxiety. And to make matters worse, there is typical palpable pressures to do well and greater competition in college. So it's not just facing a new environment, new friends, new thing in their life. They have to face the competition in college, sometimes with their friends or maybe others, we don't know. And I felt that. I've experienced that when I was in Jakarta. I'm at home, I'm with my family, I'm with my friends, my old friends, and then I have to move here. I feel like what I have to do, I don't know. This is my first time to be in dormitory, and I feel anxious because I don't know how to make friends. But the first thing is I have to be brave. I have to embrace myself. That's why. But that's the causes. Sometimes new environment can make some effect for you to feel anxious, and that's normal. And the third thing is separation from the support system, like family and friends. Like I said before, even the most confident high school student is likely to experience a dip in confidence when leaving their home. It's just like me. Yeah, when I was in high school, I think I'm the most active student. I'm not showing you that I'm arrogant, but that's my opinion. I think I'm very active when I was in high school. Why? Because I joined every organization. I joining because they always ask me to ask my help, and I'm always like to help some people. That's why I'm always active in high school. But when I face the new environment, new cultures, like I said before, new things in college, in the dormitory, I have to be adapted with it. and I feel anxious because this is new for me. This is not common for me. And that's why, that's because a familiar people, like family, our old friends, are no longer there to reinforce their identity that students have created for themselves. It's like, the example is like this. Maybe you have your a relationship, right, in high school, or maybe in your area or in your hometown. But when you have to move, you have to separate it from your girlfriend or your boyfriend or maybe your husband, or if you have some work and you must move. That's why when you facing the new environment, there's a new challenges for you, and that's why it makes you feel anxious, because that's not normal for you. It's like, okay, I have before I have time to meet my girlfriend or my boyfriend, but right now I just can't call them. It's not usually for me. I cannot meet with them. That's why when you separated from your, maybe your super system, your family, your friends, or your beloved one, it makes you to experience a deep in confidence when leaving home. And then without their usual super system, coupled with profound loneliness and homesickness, adjusting to college life becomes extremely difficult, increasing the risks of anxiety. And number 4, I will talk about the resting time. It's lack of sleep. Multiple studies show the importance of regular quality sleep in reducing anxiety symptoms. But when we are in the college life, with its all-nighters, excessive caffeine, maybe, oh, okay, to be honest with you guys, my friend, here in dormitory, some of my friends are still using coffee. They still consume caffeine. Parties, possibly maybe drugs, we don't know, and alcohol abuse can make it difficult to achieve healthy sleeping habits, thus increasing the risk of anxiety among college students. Why? Because when we are not take care of ourselves or healthy, that will risk your way of thinking, your mind. So you will feel anxious. You will the anxiety will become real in your life, because you are not clear. Your mind is not clear. You're stressful. You don't have time to be free, to be rest. And that is why a lot of college students still feel anxious, even they're in the college or in the campus or in the dormitory, for example. And the last one is uncertainty and fear of the future. Anxiety thrives in unknowns, and unfortunately, college students are faced with so much uncertainty. They do not know if they will land a job after college, how they will pay their student loans, or where they will live. Some college students still feel lost about their direction in life, which could feel even more unsettling when their peers all seem to have found their calling. Many students also fear unsuccessfully. Yeah, a lot of them transitioning to adult life, which is one of their biggest triggers of anxiety. And there's a lot of bad news when it comes to anxiety in college students. Knowing a full scope of problem is critical to addressing it. Anxiety lives and grows preciously because people are too quick to dismiss it. So once you know better where it comes from the college students, the next step is to identify anxiety symptoms and signs so they can be addressed. Anxiety is purely mental, but can show itself in physical symptoms. Among the most common is panic attacks. Panic attacks are characterized by overwhelming feelings of dread, and so on. So what we have to do, like I said before, there are causes, but for the college students, for the young people, we have to know what we have to do, what we must do, so we can deal with it, so we can face the anxiety things out of our life. The first step is always to accept that a problem is there and take a simple first step to address it. There is a social stigma around mental illness that unfortunately prevents many from getting help. It's important to realize that even if people so close to you try to convince you you're fine, or you don't think your problem is worth to bother, if you want to help, just ask for it. Just ask. There's nothing wrong with doing so. Anyone who judges you simply doesn't understand and isn't worth your concern. And problems of the mind are just as serious as problems with the body. The following, I got this from Their name is Chloe Cooper and Rachel Weaver Rivera. They are the counselors in the Deason Wellness Center at North Central College. They say that there are 10 things. Oh, I'm sorry. There are 19, but I only take 10. Why? Because they're too much. I just want to make simple. There are 10, and this is, I think, this is very, very important for all the college students. You have to concern with this. You have to be focused. Listen with this. The first time is take care of your physical health. Just like first I said, the causes, you are not have a good rest. You are not take care of your healthy. This includes getting enough sleep. This is this first thing. Eating well, drinking water, exercising, relaxing, and attending medical. Maybe sometimes you could attending medical and or maybe dental appointments. When we take care of our physical bodies, it impacts our emotional health. So there's effect. If you will take care of your healthy, your body, your mind, your soul, it will impact the way you think. And if you feel anxious, sometimes because you're not take care of your resting time, you don't have time with that. And number two is sleep hygiene. There is a direct relationship between our sleep and how we feel emotionally. Going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, it can help improve our sleep quality. Eliminate screen time while we in bed, while we are in bed, which means that when it is time you to rest, to sleep, you are in bed. So put away your phone. Don't use your phone or your gadget or many more. Whatever it is, just take care and take time to breathe, and then you just try to sleep. If you are still playing your phone, it will make your eyes cannot be closed. I mean, like you're not sleepy. That's why by using the caffeine and then maybe or sugar several hours before your bedtime, that's not a good thing. And you have to create an environment for optimal sleep, like including minimal light. You have to turn off your light, noise, and the right temperature. It's just simple. It's just simple. Life is very simple. Don't make it complicated. Sometimes we make it complicated. That's why we feel anxious in this world. We feel anxious in our age of time, in campus or in college time. Just make it simple. Like when it is your time to sleep, just sleep. Don't play phone. Don't play gadget or searching social media or internet. And then you just take care of your physical healthy. And number three is you have to take care of your nutrition. Eating healthy takes intentional decision making and planning. If your food is not good and not the best quality, I mean the best quality is if your food is always junk food, you always maybe chicken and many more. We don't know about that. French fries. It will decrease the power of the quality of your brain. Food is fuel, so set aside time to make good choice. Eat 2 to 3 balanced meals per day. Try not to eat on the run, but find a relaxing setting to enjoy your food. Eat mindfully and drink plenty of water. It's just simple. And the number 4 is manage your negative thoughts. This is what happened in our time. We are always in our daily life, we always called it like we are overthinking. Yeah, I mean, we always think about the negative thoughts. Anxiety is often triggered by worries about the future and negative thoughts about ourselves. It is important to remember that negative thoughts are often influenced by emotions and aren't always fact. It's not always true. It's not always happen. That's why we have to think clearly for the future. It's okay if we think the worst, but do not always focus with that worst thing, because when you always focus with that, you will never know how to fix it, how to deal with it. So you have to try manage your mind, manage the way you think. So it will help you to think positively. It will help you to stay away from your anxiety feelings. And number 5 is seek social support. In Unai, there are a lot of organization, or maybe some care groups, or we can find some choirs or leadership organization, and many more. Social support can come in many forms and often has a significant impact on our overall well-being. It is okay to ask for help or emotional support when feeling anxious. It's all right. Make a plan for regular check-ins with friends or maybe your loved ones. Create a list of all people in your life who have your back in different ways. Maybe sometimes your professors or your lecturers, friends, or maybe your family, people at work, or individual who share your interest. And it's important to remember our network of connections and resources. It is not always easy to build a social support network, especially if you're struggling with finding how to make friends in college during COVID-19. But we can do it. We can do it in online, by online. Yeah, there are many of them. Many of them in organization have some activities in online, and you can join them, even if you cannot meet them in real life, but you can still meet with them in Zoom maybe, or many more, and you can still have interactions with them. And if you find your friend in that organization and you trust them, and you trust him or her, you can talk with him. We can talk with him or her. So you can share your experience when you try to when you find another one who trusts in you and you trust with them. And number 6 is set boundaries. Sometimes it's okay to say no if you know that you cannot do it. Give yourself permission to say no. Do not force yourself. It's important to recognize your own limits. We are human. We are human beings. We have limits, and how to communicate with them. Boundaries can pertain to mental, emotional, physical, time, and or financial limitation. We all have limits in this world. And when you know that you can do it, just say, I'm sorry, I cannot do it. If you force yourself, but I think it's okay to push yourself, but do not force if you know you can't. Right? It's different when you push yourself, you try to do best, you try to be better from day to day. It's different than you force yourself to do something that you cannot do. It's different. So when someone asks you, maybe you feel like, oh, is it hurt if I reject them, if I ignore them? It's okay, it's fine, they will understand. But if you force yourself, it will make you like, okay, I never did this, but I don't know what I have to do. It's like that. It will shake your mind, and your mind will be clearly, and that's not a good or the best way. And your work will become broken. And number 7, practice self-compassion. You have to have habits that being compassionate to yourself. And when you're experiencing anxiety, can be validating and reduce the shame surrounding feeling anxious. Self-compassion is when you talk to your deep breathing is a way to relax both your mind and your body. So there are effects if you take time to breathe, and it will be good for your brain. So your brain will think will be fresh, and you can think clearly, and your body will be relaxed. Tapping into your creativity is always a great way to relax. Like the old adage say that time flies when you are having fun. Activities then get you out of your head, like dancing, maybe drawing, maybe singing. Nowadays, many of us like to playing TikTok, right? TikTok. Yeah, it's okay if you want to play in TikTok. That's fine. It's fine. Just take your time, but do not. But if your task is not that, do not focus or take a long time with that activities. Maybe you can cooking or running. You can playing games, like my brother Adriel said. He liked to playing games when he have a rest time. That's good, but do not focus with that time. We do not take a long time with that, because you have tasks, you have responsibilities, and there are ways to reconnect with your inner creative spirit. And number 9 is spend time in nature. I'd like to go to the mountain camping and to go to the beach to see the sea, you know, sunset, or maybe you can go to mountain to see the sunrise. And you know what? Research has shown that spending time in nature can improve how we feel. Yeah, that's true. That's right. When I was in high school, I joining the Pathfinder. They call it Pathfinder. Some organizations, leadership organizations, and then we have time to go camping, hiking to the when we say it is it called Mount Gunung Gede, Mount Gede. Yeah, in Bahasa it calls Gunung Gede. Yeah, we are doing hiking, and then we feel fresh. We feel like, oh, this is a good time for us to take a rest, to clear our mind, to be free from our homework, from our task. Maybe we have to clean our home, but that's our job. But we can be free. We can express our feelings. You can shout there. You can shout to show your to spread your stress feelings from out of your mind. And when doing hiking or camping or everywhere, you can go to the nature. Going to a forest preserve or spending time at park can be healthy outlets for anxiety. So it's important to you guys. Do not afraid. If you feel anxious, just take your time and go to the nature. It will help you. And the last one is unplug. What does it mean, unplug? Unplug is like take technology breaks. Develop awareness of how technology use makes you feel, from comparing yourself to others on social media to playing games to avoid responsibilities. Make intentional choices about how you use technology to connect with others or get work done. There are a psychologist named Ken Goodman, a licensed clinical social worker, talks about limiting your access to news and gossip in an article for Anxiety and Depression Association of America. He says that all anxiety stems from uncertainty and an active imagination which produce catastrophic thoughts. The media, which is 24/7 coronavirus, are virtually all negative, is the driver of those thoughts. The more anxious you feel, the more you should distance from the media. So it's okay if you want to take time to look for some news, but if you look to the title, that's a bad news, and you have some anxiety feelings, do not read that. Just put it away. You can read something good. It will help you to not feeling anxious. Of course, that's for in your college time, in your activities, and it will help you to make yourself better from day to day. And I think this all will help us, the college students, from all of our experience. Maybe we feel anxious. Maybe we feel anxious with how to communicate with friends, how to looking for a couple. But when we doing this, all of this, maybe it will help. It will help us. It will help us. And not just 10. Maybe you can do it 5 of them. Like I said, 5 of them or 3 that I've said before. It will help you to decrease your anxiety and your anxious feelings from your life. Especially for you, our guys, the college students. You have to take care of yourself and do what you must to do to prepare your mind to take care of your mind. You're healthy, or for sure is mental healthiness. So this is what I can give, and thank you so much for your attention, brothers and sisters. I think that's it, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Harold, for listing down tips and tricks on how to handle society among college students. And thank you also for, it's so empowering what you have just said. Like you are raising awareness of anxiety causes that make college students feel worried, stressful with all the academic works that I have to deal with. You know what? I spent my life living in a dormitory, and everything you said made sense. And here, many of our viewers are college students. I hope they're learning from what you said, from what you have shared with us. Okay, now we move to another topic. Since we are all in the same denominations of being Christians, I wonder, do you think as Christians, we tend to be stress-free? Okay, Adriel, what is your take on this?
Hello, everyone. We already hear anxiety among college students now. We will hear about should Christian be stress free? Some of college students uh, have already feel what stress is. Not only college students but every human have already experienced what is stress. Now, Googling how to relieve stress will return almost 70 million results. Some are helpful than others. The problem is in our I just want to fix this or make it go away mentality. We too often treat the symptoms but not the cause. We tend to compartmentalize stress when in reality it affects our whole person. The constant demand on our resource, energy, emotion, and intellect affect us as Christians. How should we handle the demands and consequence of stress? Well, everyone everyone deals with stress at some point, and Christians are not immune to the pressure and pitfall of life. The dictionary defines stress as physical, mental, or emotion, strain, or tension. Some stress is necessary and even good, such as the physical strain we put on our muscle in order to make them stronger. But when we talk about stress, we are usually referring to excessive or negative mental or emotion strain or tension. Scripture does speak to things such and such as anxiety, worry, and trouble. Things we often associate with stress and give us clear answer on how we should deal with them. Everyone suffers from stress at one time or another. How we naturally deal with it depends in large part on who we are. For some reason, emotionally stress causes physical illness. Others might become hyperproductive. On the other hand, some people under stress shut down mentally and emotionally. And of course, there are variety of other person's stress is a common human experience, particularly in a world where demands for our time and attention seem to be unending. Our jobs, health, family, friends, and even ministry activities can overwhelm us. We experience stress for countless reasons. Top cause of stress are work, finances, relationship, health, and media overload. Well, stress tends to hit us when we are overtired, when we are sick, and when we are outside of our safe and familiar environment. When we take on too many responsibilities during times of grief and tragedy, when our circumstance spins out of control, we feel stressed. And when our basic needs are not being met, we feel threatened and anxious. Most Christians share the belief that God is sovereign and in control of our lives. We believe He has given us everything we need for living. So when stress dominates our lives somewhere along the way, we have lost our ability to trust in God. That's not meant to imply that a stress-free existence in Christ is easy to obtain. Far from it. We should live a stress-free. Yes, we'll admit that our daily modern life are very fast-paced and are both mentally and physically draining. In other words, it can get really stressful. Nowadays, we do everything in a hurry. We just grip breakfast with instant or ready-made pancakes or waffles and coffee. Get inside the car with breakfast still at hand and drive on towards the workplace. After work, there's not much energy and time left to make a decent homemade meal, so we just buy meals from the nearest fast food restaurant, eat and sleep. On the next day, we're bound to repeat the same activities. We might also find most of our life are merely a work home or school home cycle with almost all our hours devoted to work or studying. I'm not saying that working and studying is a bad, but overdoing it can lead to stress and eventually it will take over our lives. Naturally, we work and study to be able to afford a decent and comfortable lifestyle in the near future. We need to invest in both if we want to buy the stuff we want or need and afford the little luxuries we want to experience in life. More so, we need to earn to support our families soon enough. However, as a modern Christian, it is never an excuse to forget our duties to the Lord just because we are too busy with our own lives. Remember, everything is not in place, your work, your family, and your achievement, if it weren't because of Him. We might, we might also find ourselves stressed when facing a hardship or trial. No matter the type of stress in our life, the starting point for dealing with it is God. As a Christian, we desperately need Him in our life. We need Him because He's the only one who can give us the strength to cope with the trouble in our lives. Believing in Him does not mean that we will have trouble-free life or that we will not feel overcome by stress in our life. It simply means that a life without God makes coping with stress an impossible and often debilitating task. Have you ever, maybe you hear these words from Christian, one of your moments of stress. What you need to do, bro, is just trust God more. Well, if only it were that easy. Stress and anxiety for a Christian can take on many different shapes and forms. It can be as simple and subtle and slowly backsliding away from God, or as debilitating as a full-blown panic attack. Regardless, stress will wear us down physically, emotionally, and spiritually. We need to be armed with a plan for dealing with it. How we deal with it is up to us. Stress of all kind is a natural part of life. As a Christian, the only way that can consistently and successfully deal with stress is with God first. We must believe in Him. Second, we need to trust Him and obey Him. We should trust Him to do what is right because His ways are always best for us. Disobedience and sins can produce stress and cut us off from the only means of peace and joy. By obeying His commandments, we reap the blessing of true contentment from a loving God. Finally, we need to seek His peace daily by filling our minds with His word, lifting all things to Him in prayer, and sitting at His feet in awe and reverence. It is only by His grace, mercy, and love that the stress in our life can be managed. No matter what you do, you can avoid stressful situations. They are inevitable in life. However, you get to choose how you respond to those situations. How you respond will determine whether those situations produce stress in you or not. So how do you respond when faced with a stressful situation? Do you get angry or begin to worry or become fearful? Does your imagination begin to go wild and anxiety build in you? You need to realize how you respond is your choice. You have the power to choose how you are going to deal with every situation that confronts you. That's all I can give. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Adriel. for sharing your thoughts and ideas. Um, you stated God's ways is always the best. You know, this is such a soothing statement whenever we are in our lower situation. So, once again, thank you for sharing. Now, let's move to anxiety causes and preventions. Actually, all of you, the three of you, the previous panelists, you have shared some tips and tricks on how to handle anxiety. But I think we have to know deeper, yeah? We have to dive into what actually the causes and preventions of anxiety. So, Thomas, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you for uh, your attention for us. Thank you uh, for Adriel. We already listened from brother earlier about Adriel about should the Christian be stress free. We all know that Christians are human and all human in this world, no matter what their religion is they have to know the what is the cause of anxiety and what is their profession for that. As an ordinary human being who has feeling anxious and certainly and common things, so as and with feeling in love, sad envy, or happiness. However, when anxiety becomes too excessive and too often happens to you, you should wonder what is wrong with yourself and needed to know the cause of excessive anxiety. Anxiety that is it felt from no reason and very intense. Is excessive anxiety that can make quality of life your dismay. What is the cause of anxiety? The first, stress, stress due to work or school. Everyone must have feel stress and the pressure that can be obtained anywhere and from anywhere. Such as stress school for students or stress at work for those who are already working. Stress can arise when there are too many things to do will times. It's not enough to the everything at once. Homework or office work not to maintain possible problems with school, office friends, or teacher. Or surprise in the office will cause anxiety. Children can also experience anxiety caused by parents' treatment of themselves. Regarding school problems in the general, children to feel stressed, stressed and missions in the face or their overly critical and province parents. A real example is where many children are recruited by their parents to get the best grades in the classroom, or the child must excel so that his parents are poor, but when the child is unable to exercise its or less, the child will be punished. Children who are less rather from their parents will very issue reaction to exam behavior. The second, but relationship with family or partner. Not only at work or school, a person can experience anxiety. Even at home can make a person feel depressed and they feel anxious at any time due to problems with relative or even a partner. First of, for some people, that emergence of problems in family or, relationship with a partner, it's not a big problem that should be worried at all times. But for a number of the other people, but relationship or problems that arise with the close person can be. Number three, stress due to certain disease. When a person is diagnosed with a serious and severe disease, of course, that will make him think. Not if it frequently also that will experience the them of anxiety because they feel for the disease in their bodies. As well, a person with a serious illness also becomes or anxious because or think about the future and we are of the future of his family. Number four, stress to financial problems. A person can be stricken with anxiety when he is in a difficult time, especially related to financial problems. In-depth and sketch by launcher, for example. This an example that we can see not only on television, but also in real life around us. This can trigger anxiety, panic, and sleep disturbance in a person. Number five, trauma. Trauma. Anxiety can also result from a trauma in the past, whatever is died as due the parental divorce, parental violence against and child, the death of the most loved one, or even witnessing an accidental person. All of the are causes of anxiety that belong the group of every mental factor. Number seven, personality. There is study that states that the one set of anxiety disorder in the a person can be caused by the person's own personality. In insights, the main role is played by personality. Especially people who often with inferior, so is the answer to experience anxiety. People who feel inferior will tend the things negatively, so that anxiety disorder will appear. Feeling of inferiority are bad things because then people who are feel the feeling constantly will always feel helpless in any situation, feel lonely, and fear of rejection by other on in certain real relationship, anxiety and anxiety can also be interpreted as a personality disorder, where it will get worse in the person's life. There are many problems, health problem, relationship with partner, family, and financial problems can trigger and disturbing states of anxiety. Ways to deal with anxiety. Number one, grateful. This method is the most effective in relaxing anxiety. Being grateful for all the blessing God give and being grateful can be done not only when you worship or when to sleep. Even when you are alone, you can give thanks for everything God has given you and the good deeds of others. Number two, meditations. One way the relax in meditation, where this activity will be very beneficial in the balancing that body and mind. So for this from anxiety, meditation can change about mood for the good and prevents any symptoms of stress. Number three, take time to play. Many people distance themselves from stress anxiety by playing with pets. So if you have a pet, do not hesitate to play around with it because this include effective for you can relieve and accept from stress. Number four, Roma therapy. Laying down or sitting on the bed silence will smiling the smell of aromatherapy fragrance oil definitely refresh your mind and again. Anxiety begins you pressure and tension in the body regardless of when cause anxiety you experience and by smiling aromatherapy. It is worth it. Do you become better and relaxed? Thank you so much. This is where we can share the topics about anxiety. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any question, you can share with us by using the chat box below. And now we would like to give back to our moderator, Mendebor. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Okay, as what Thomas has said, if you have any question, please drop your question in the chat box. Okay, we're going to have a question and answer later on. Once again, Thomas, thank you for sharing tips on preventing from going deeper into anxiety disorder. You know what? Whenever I'm anxious, I have hard time falling asleep at night, or I cannot even concentrate on doing my task. Well, as what you have shared, there is always a way to lower the level of our anxiety. One of it is by being grateful. I think Jacobus has shared that a while ago, right? To be grateful in our life, being grateful with what we have. Well, all the panelists have shared their thoughts on the topics. Now, let's go down into discussion. This is the most exciting part of the show. Well, Jacobus, Adriel, Harold, and Thomas, you have shared your thoughts and anxiety, but yeah, this is something that I would like to emphasize. I haven't heard your life story about how you handle anxiety. Like, I would like you to peel off your life experience on how you handle anxiety. Let me share screen. Okay, there are two famous quotes that I would like to share with you, all of you, and I would like you to share your experience, your life testimonies on this quote. Okay, this is one of the very popular quotes. It says, "I will not stress myself out about things I cannot control and change." Does this happen to you? Please share. I will start with Jacobus Miga. Share your experience. Does this happen to you?
Okay.
Can you relate to this quote?
Okay, ma'am. I have experience with anxiety. One of the themes how face my final semester exam when I was a high school. At the time of the exam, I had missed doing two exam question, while the time for the exam was and about to end, and it made me panic and confused. Then my friend come and told me, you have to calm down and take deep breath and then exhale slowly. And that makes me calmer and able to do things well. And so that points is that don't be panic when we face the anxiety. That's all, man.
So what was the result of your exam? Was it good?
Yes.
Ah, awesome. Thank you. Okay, anyone would like to share? Harold, how about you?
Oh, well, how about me? I have a lot of experience about this anxiety things. And one of them is when I was in high school, always back to my high school.
Yes.
In that time, it's different than you have to do your task. I mean, your homework. You have to do it. You can't, or you can, or you cannot. You must to do your homework, right? Your task, your responsibility is to learn. You have to do it. But it's different when you. So somebody was told me that is, of course, that is my teacher. She told me that I have to handle some organization that I never know and or I never experienced with that before. It's different than you have to do your homework. If homework, you must to do it. But in organization, if you don't know what you have to do and you feel not like, oh, this is not my passion. This is not what I can do. So I said to my teacher that, I'm sorry, ma'am, I cannot do this. So don't be stressed if you cannot do something in your life. But the thing is, do not force yourself. Just like I said before, when I give some presentation, when I explain that, do not force yourself. It's different when you try to push yourself to be better than you force yourself, right? If you force yourself, it's like you're not usually with doing that, and you acting and or you think that you can do it, but actually you don't. And the result is will be bad for you, or in that time for the organization that that invite me to be the leader there. So I said, no, I'm sorry, I cannot do it. I have to be focused with another organization because a lot of job I have to do there. So, well, that's my answer. If we talk about, I will not stress myself out about things I can't control or change. Yeah, that's right. You don't have to stress yourself about things you cannot control. That's fine. That's good. That's all right. There's no problem with that. I think that, man.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your experience. Yeah. Finally, I can hear from you. Yeah. I can hear how you handle your stress or your anxiety. Okay. Adriel, would you like to share
Okay.
something?
Yes. Back when I was high school, Um, uh, I have I've experienced anxiety when our basketball team have a match with another school, and I feel like, wow, we will lose because they better than us, and their body is bigger than our team. And so my friend tell me that we should give up. We haven't played yet. And then uh, my friend say we should not give up, and we try. We trust in God. So it feels like uh, I just want to give up because I can never win against them. But when we play, something happened. It just feels like when we play, it feels like we play we play like it feels fun. It feels like it never happened before. So it make my anxiety disappear, and that's what I love when I was back in high school. That's what I can share. Thank you.
Thank you, Adriel. You share your experience when you're high school. You have no experience. You have no anxiety problem in your college life. No problem here.
I got one.
I got.
Yeah, I was hoping that you could share your uh, lower level of anxiety when you're in college. Do you want to share? So that
I forget about it.
so that our viewers can resonate with your experience. How about Thomas? Do you have any experience handling anxiety in college life? Thomas? Unmute, please. Yes. Could you please share with us? Oh, okay. From the chat box, I got information that Thomas has connection problem. Okay, I'll just proceed. Now, another quote that I would like to share. Another quote. Okay. It says, prayer is the bridge between your panic attack and peace. Do you agree with this quotation? Is it true that when you're panicked, when you're stressful, prayer is the best weapon for you to handle stress? Could you please share if you have any experience, if you have any things related to this, please share with us.
Okay.
Who wants to start first? Okay, Harold.
I think yeah. Because you asked me to share some college life.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I will share it. I got some, and
okay, good.
and it is effect with these quotes too. It's something the same thing with these quotes. I mean, like, prayer is the bridge between your panic attack and peace. You know, when on that time, I don't know that there will be English service in Unai.
Okay.
I mean, it in worshiping God.
Yes.
In worshiping God every Sabbath day. I never know about that. I never thought about that. And in that time, pastor, or I mean, yeah, my lectures, Pastor Alvin Hendricks. Before that, I'm with my friends. His name is Gogo, and with my friends, when another one is Ricky Nama. there's two my friends there, and we are always like to, we are sharing the our thoughts about Bible. We sometimes speak English, and in that time, our lecturer, Pastor Alvin, came and talked to us. He said that, okay, do you know, I have some program for you guys. I'd like to make some worship that the service is in English, and I know that you all can deal with it. I know you can handle it. So it makes us like, are you serious, sir? Are you serious? We're panic. And I feel so anxious because in that time I never served in English. I've done it before, but when it was in high school, but it's just like, praying or whatever, like praying or giving some text from the Bible and share the memory verse, just that we serve like that. And the difference is when Sir Alvin said that we have to serve there in English, which means we have to lead the discussion, Sabbath school lesson discussion in English. It makes something like came into my mind, and oh my goodness, what I have to do. And in that time, I feel like I cannot do it. I can't do it. But Sir Alvin, he told us like, come on, come with me. I will show you the room. And he brings us to the auditorium, and then we look into that room. It's a little bit bigger, and my anxious feelings is more bigger too. It's more bigger, and I was like, are you sure I have to lead the discussion in this place? And my sweat is going outside, and in that time my anxiety is become real. But when the days come, I go to the Lord. Like this quote said, pray. I pray. I'd go down on my knee, and then I said that, Lord, this is my first time, just like this program. This is my first time to speak in live in YouTube, to share you some good things. This is my first time, and before I share it with you guys, I feel anxious. It's real. But prayer is the bridge. You can ask
Okay.
God. To help you to fix all of your problems, your troubles, maybe everything. You can ask your God. You
Okay.
can ask him.
So this is true, yeah? Prayer is the
Yes,
bridge.
that's true.
Okay,
That's
that's
right.
true. Okay. How about you, Jacobus? What's your take on this quote? Jacobus Miga?
Okay, ma'am. I think Bro Harold, the answer all.
How you don't have any experience related to this?
Yes.
Like when you're anxious, you pray, and what happened after you pray? Was there a sudden change? No, you don't have any experience to share?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
how about you, Adriel? Could you please share your experience, Adriel?
It's almost seems like Brother Harold. Just the difference is when I was preach. I feel like I'm panicked. It's my first time to preach, to give a sermon in a church, and when I pray, it feels like my heart is in peace, like, and my anxiety and nervous disappeared. Well, that's how you say praise the bridge between your panic attack and beats, I guess. Yeah.
So you feel relaxed after praying?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Thomas, are you live now? Can you hear our voices? Thomas? How about
No,
now?
ma'am. My voice.
Yes, I can hear your voice clearly. Anything you would like to share, Thomas? Related to this quote about prayer? Like when you're anxious, you feel so stressed out, and you seek the Lord through prayer. And what happened after that? Did you feel the peace in you? Do you have your story to share, Thomas? Okay. Well, thank you for sharing your. Okay, Thomas' microphone is not working. So let me just proceed. Once again, thank you for sharing your life testimonies. Thank you for sharing your experience, how you handle anxiety. Now we come up with Q&A session. I received several questions here in the chat box. Okay, let me read the question. Oh, we have 3 questions from our viewers. First question, why do most gifted children tend to suffer from anxiety disorder? You mean gifted? You mean talented? I think that's what the person meant, yeah? Meant. Gifted children tend to suffer from anxiety disorders. Okay, Harold, can you answer this question?
Okay. Why do the most gifted children tend to suffer from anxiety disorders? I'm a little bit confused, but I try to answer it. Okay. From what I got, in my opinion, a lot of children, when they were born, they were they have their own gift. You know, everyone in this world are unique. We have our own gift. But sometimes, if we are not try to practice with it, try to not to search what is our gift, what is our talent, so it will makes us feel anxious. It's different. I think it's more like a talent, right? There rather than some mental sickness, right? Mental sickness, which it means like the gifted children is more like the talented children, right? So I have friends that he have some talent. He's good with playing music, but I know he's good with playing music, but he's too shy to show others that he can play music. It's like playing piano or violin. I know he can. I've heard him to play it once, but when I said that, why you don't try to show it in church or maybe to show it in some musical classes? But he said like, no, I'm very shy. Why? Because they are not practice, or they are not feel comfort, or they are not feel what we can say, what is the right word, like confidence. I'm sorry, confidence. They're not feel confidence with themselves, because what, they're not try to practice to like compassionate with their self. Like I said before in the topics, like we have to have some we must have self-compassion. So like you have to appreciate yourself, you have to say the good word for yourself, you have to think positively for yourself. It will help you to make like, oh, okay, I know I can do it, I know I have this talent, I know this is my passion. So you are not shy, so you will not shy, and you can show it to others, but not to be arrogant, but just to tell them that I have some gift, I am unique, I have some talent, and maybe you can help them too to fix their anxiety disorders. Maybe it will help them by your life, by your experience too. So why do the most gifted children tend to suffer? Because they are not practice to have self-compassion, because and their parents too are some relatable things with their parents. So if their parents is not support them, not make positive things to them, so they will like, oh, I'm not ready for this, I'm not good at this, because their support system is not good for them. It's just like you always got judged things from others, and when children got that, it will make some difference with their mental healthy and their feel anxiety. And that's why a lot of children tend to suffer from their anxiety disorders. I think that's the answer, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I hope our viewer will be satisfied with the answer. Okay, next we proceed to the next question from our viewer. How do we know the difference between normal anxiety and anxiety disorder? Adriel, could you please give the answer on this question? How do we know the difference between normal anxiety and anxiety disorder?
Okay. Anxiety is a normal reaction to many different kind of event and situation in our lives. Anxiety is one of our internal warning system that alert us to danger or other threats and prepare our bodies to fight back or get out of danger situation. Anxiety is problem when it becomes overwhelming or unmanageable, and it come up unexpectedly. And anxiety disorders are mental illness that have big impact in our life. People may avoid going about their daily life in order to avoid anxiety. They may experience a lot of uncomfortable physical sensation and physical health problems. Many people say that they know their anxiety isn't based in reality, but they feel trapped by their thought and feelings. Anxiety disorders can be treated. It's important to seek help if you have anxiety disorder. I mean, differences between is normal anxiety is related to a specific situation or problem, lasts only as long as the situation or problem, and proportional to the situation or problem, realistic response to realistic problem or situation. But when someone experiences anxiety disorder, anxiety may came up unexpectedly for seemingly no reason. The anxiety response to a situation or problem may be much stronger than they would expect. They may experience a lot of realistic anxiety, such as fear of situation that likely will never happen. Anxiety may last for a long time, even when the situation or problem has been resolved. Anxiety may feel impossible to control or manage. They may avoid situations or things that they believe to trigger anxiety symptoms. That's what I know about the difference between normal anxiety and anxiety disorder. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's true. That's true. Everything that you said. The difference between normal anxiety and anxiety disorder. I hope our viewer is satisfied with your answer. Okay, this is the last question. Yeah, the last question from our viewer. How do I know if I am experiencing anxiety? Jacobus, could you please answer this question? How do I know that I'm anxious, that I
Okay,
have
ma'am.
anxiety?
My answer simple, ma'am. I think when we feel our hands are shaking or maybe feeling unhappy, that's all.
Okay, so viewers, if you're shaking, if you're shaking and if you're unhappy, seek the Lord and pray. You are in anxious level, yeah, anxiety level. Okay, thank you. Thank you, our panelists, for sharing your experience, your thoughts, notions on anxiety. I think we are reaching the end of our show. I would like to invite you to give your closing statement or motivation for our viewers, how to stay sane, how to prevent ourselves from getting anxiety disorders. I would like to start from Jacobus. What is your closing statement for our viewers?
Okay, man. I think thanks a lot. Grateful. Terus pray for God. That's all.
Pray. Okay, that's your closing statement. Give thanks to the Lord, be grateful, and always pray to God. Okay, Harold, what is your closing statement for our viewers?
Oh, my closing statement is, first, you have to appreciate yourself. You have to appreciate yourself. You have to respect for yourself, and you have to think what is good for you. So if you take care of yourself, you know what you have to do. You can clear your mind. You will have a good life. You have a better life. And the second thing is, do not concern what people say unto you. Just if something bad in your life, just try to fix it. And if some people say the bad things for you, do not always concern with that. And maybe I can give some quotes for you guys, especially for the college students. Is the past is just the past. The past is not your concern, and the future is not your concern too. That is what God can give to you. Just believe it. But your concern is right now. What will you, what you want to do to make your life better? I think that's it, man.
Thank you. Awesome closing statement. Next, Adriel, what is your closing statement that you would like to share with your audience?
You need to do what you know good. Not don't try to do what you know bad. And you have to praise God for everything that He gave you in your daily life, and you have to be thankful every moment. That's all.
Thank you. Thomas, is your microphone okay now? Can you share your closing statement to our viewers?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Bisa.
yes. Yeah, I can hear you. Continue talking.
Oh, okay. My statement is don't anxiety and keep believing in God and pray continue. And I hope Jesus blessing us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So finally, we've come to the end of our show. This is the end of episode 1. To all our speakers, Harold, Jacobus, Adriel, and Thomas, once again, I personally thank each one of you for your time and contributions on sharing your thoughts, your experience. I hope that your message will be spread among all young people, that they will always take care of their mental well-being. Thank you. So this is the end of episode 1. Don't forget, we're going to launch episode 2 this coming Tuesday. See you, everyone. God
See
bless.
you. Thank you.
See you, ma'am.
See you.